Loud. Denver Union Station, 18th stop of the eastbound Zephyr. One of the few transcontinental passenger trains still running on a regular schedule. Lev pays for his ticket in cash. The ticket agent spares him a glance, then double takes and shakes his head in clear disapproval. Still, the agent passes the ticket through the little hole at the base of the glass window. Only after leaving the line does Lev hear the agent say to the next customer, "We get all types here." There are juvie cops in the station. AWOLs always try to take trains. They rarely make it on board. One juvie eyes Lev suspiciously and heads him off before he can get to the train. "Can I please see some identification, son?" "I've already been cleared by security. The juvenile authority doesn't have the right to ask for your identification without probable cause." "Fine," says the juvie cop. "You can file a formal rights violation complaint with the juvenile authority after you show me your ID." He pulls out his wallet and hands an ID card to the cop. The ID has a new picture reflecting how he looks now. The cop studies it, clearly disappointed that he can't make an instant arrest. "Mapi Kinkajou? Is that Navajo?" "Trick question. Our Apache." "Doesn't it say so?" "My mistake," the cop says, handing him back the ID. "Have a nice trip, Mr. Kinkajou." The cop knows better than to mess with him now. The Apache are very litigious when it comes to their off-res youth being harassed by the authorities. Lev glances at the officer's name tag. "I'll make sure to file that rights violation report when I get where I'm going, Officer Triplet." Lev won't do it, but the officer deserves a little heartache. Lev finds his train and gets on board, ignoring the glances and stares of strangers, although sometimes he stares back until the strangers are so uncomfortable they look away. No one recognizes him. No one will. His new look guarantees that. Passengers already settled in their seats glance his way as he moves down the aisle. One woman quickly deposits her purse in the empty seat beside her. "This one's taken," she says. He passes through 3 coach cars until coming to one a little less crowded and finds a place where he can sit by himself. Across the aisle, however, is a girl who seems to have almost set up camp in the 2 seats she's commandeered. She has a cobalt blue streak in her black hair and her fingernails in various unmatching colors. She's 17, maybe 18, perhaps an AWOL who survived long enough to be legit, or a legit girl playing at nonconformity. One look at him and she thinks she's found a kindred spirit. "Hi," she says. "Hi," he echoes. A moment of awkward silence, and then she asks, "So who are they?" He plays dumb. "Who are who?" Zachary Vasquez, Courtney Wright, Matthew Praver, she says, reading them right off his forehead, and all the rest. He has no reason to lie to her. He had the names tattooed there so that they could be seen. His days of hiding are over. They're unwinds, he tells her. They had no one to mourn for them, but now they have me. She nods in unconditional approval. "Very cool. Nervy, too. I like it." She shifts from the window seat to the aisle seat. "So, are they everywhere?" "They're head to toe," he tells her. "Wow, how many names are there?" 312, Lev says, and adds with a grin. "And more, any more and it would look cluttered." That makes her laugh. She ponders his face and his clean-shaven head and then says, "You know, your hair will eventually grow back. You'll have to keep shaving it if you want people to see the names." "That won't be a problem." The train pulls out and she moves across the aisle to sit next to him. Taking his hands, she examines the many names on his forearms, hands, and fingers. He lets her, enjoying the positive attention as much as he enjoyed the negative attention from the disapprovers. "I like the color choices and the fact you didn't spare your face. It was a bold choice. None of them were spared, so why should any part of me be?" He made sure that there wouldn't be a single part of his body not covered by the names of the unwound. His only regret is that there aren't more. Jazz was right. So much ink so fast hurt to the point of tears and several sleepless nights. Even now it hurts, but he bore the pain, and he'll still bear it. The simple lettering of the names in red, black, blue, and green looks like war paint from a distance, Only when you get close enough to see Lev's eyes do the patterns resolve into the names of the unwound. Jazz is a true artist. I think it's beautiful, says the girl with the cobalt streak. Maybe I'll follow your lead. She looks at her right arm. I could ink an unwind right here, just one though. There are times when less is more. Sabrina Fasher, he suggests. Excuse me? Sabrina Fasher. She would have been number 313 if I kept going. The girl frowns. Who was she? I wish I knew. All I have is their names. She sighs. Her memories are scattered to the wind, sad beyond sad. Then she nods. Sabrina Fancher it shall be. She introduces herself as Amelia Sabatini, her Italian last name making him think of Miracolina. Then she asks him his name. He hesitates before he tells her, still not entirely used to his new alias. Mappy, he tells her. Mappy Kinkajou. Interesting name. It's a chance folk name. You can call me Ma. Better than P or Kinky, she giggles. He decides he likes her, which could be a problem. His plans do not leave room for friendship. How far are you going? He asks her. Kansas City, how about you? All the way to the end of the line. New York. Or bust. Well, I hope you don't do that, Amelia says, giggling again, this time a bit nervously. What's there in the Big Apple for you? Her questions are probing, invasive. With each one, he's liking her less and less. Instead of answering, he puts it back on her. What's for you in Kansas City? A sister who can stand me, Amelia says. You have family in New York? Friends? Are you running away there? She waits for his answer. She will not get one. It's nice that you have someone in your life who can stand you, he says. Not everyone has that. Then he turns to look out the window and keeps looking out the window until she's moved across the aisle again. 51. Tarmac. There are more than 3,000 abandoned airfields in the world. Some are relics of war, abandoned during peacetime. Others were built to handle air traffics in places where the population has declined. Still, others were built by misguided investors, banking on a growth boom that never arrived. One of those 3,000 airfields, about 900 are Of those 3,000 airfields, about 900 are still viable. Of those 900, about 150 have long enough runways to accommodate a craft the size of the Lady Lucrezia. One of those 150, 12 are regular stops for the Lady, and they are spread out on every populated continent. Today's itinerary features Northern Europe. 6 small private jets are already on the weedy tarmac of Denmark's Rama airfield, linked up like chicks awaiting the return of the mother hen. It's a ritual repeated several times a month in each airfield, with no fear of government interference, thanks to some well-placed palm greasing. Distribution is a procedure much simpler than the actual unwindings. The Lady Lucrezia lands, her hinged nose rises, opening her voluptuous cargo hold, and the crates, already sorted to their various destinations, are loaded upon the smaller craft, representing buyers anxiously waiting their purchases. No worldwide delivery service is more efficient. No businessman is prouder of his operation than Divan Umarov.